Welcome, everybody, to the next installment of 10 minutes of useless information. And today, of course, we are covering the best Star Wars prequel ever made objectively, and if you try to deny that, you're wrong. But before we delve into the video, don't forget to watch 10 minutes of useless information about Revenge of the Sith first. You can click it in the top right here. And if you're into the Old Republic, I have a video just like this for all three games. But I know what you're here for. You're here for the best Star Wars prequel, totally no sarcasm. So, sit back and grab a death stick or two. I'm certainly going to need one after I get the big copyright claim logo again, because here is 10 minutes of useless information about Star Wars Attack of the Clones. Star Wars Attack of the Clones is 2 hours and 22 minutes long, or 142 minutes, or 8,520 seconds. Early concepts for clone children in Attack of the Clones had them with barcodes on their foreheads. The trooper classroom designs were a reference to Lucas's first film, THX-1138. The speeder that Anakin stole in the beginning of the movie belongs to Simon Greyshade, a senator that was introduced in the Wheel arc in the original 1970s Marvel comics. This is both canon and Legends. When Jango Fett gets into his ship after his fight with Obi-Wan, he bangs his head on the partially open door. This was intentional and is a reference to a famous goof from A New Hope, where a stormtrooper accidentally bangs his head on a door. Attack of the Clones takes place 22 years before the events of A New Hope, and 10 years after The Phantom Menace. One of the Jedi that we see in the background in the Geonosis arena is Ayla Sakura, who first appeared in the comics and was created by John Ostrander and Jan Duursema. Attack of the Clones is the last film in the Star Wars saga to be rated PG by the MPAA. The novelization for Star Wars Attack of the Clones was written by R.A. Salvatore, who just a couple years prior wrote Vector Prime, the first novel of the New Jedi Order that killed off Chewbacca. When they were designing Palpatine's Sith apprentice, artist Dermot Power envisioned a female samurai-type figure. Those designs were later turned into another infamous character who you all know as the Sarge Ventress. The iconic Jedi Kit Fisto was originally conceived by Dermot Power as a male Sith. However, he was unhappy with the design. George Lucas then asked if he could turn the character into a Jedi, and now we have our classic boy Fisto. George Lucas briefly toyed with the idea to have Jango Fett's severed head fall out of the helmet as young Boba is holding it, but he ultimately thought that it would have been too cruel on the character. Newt Gunray and Ki-Adi-Mundi are both played by the actor Silas Carson. Looks like Palpatine isn't the only one playing both sides. Christopher Lee, the actor that played Count Dooku, was actually an experienced fencer in real life. This is reflected in his lightsaber fighting style Makashi, which is a kind of dancing style of lightsaber combat. Before the release of the movie, there were trading card packs that were released to the fans. However, these trading cards actually spoiled that Anakin got his hand chopped off. To provide a realistic explosion for the Republic gunship that gets shot down, ILM built a mandrill of the vessel, which is an all-practical blue miniature. It was then rigged and blown up. This explosion was then digitally extracted and placed on top of a properly shaped wreckage, and then the digital artists came in and replaced the mandrill with a CGI version of the gunship. Padme is supposed to be a few years older than Anakin. In real life, Hayden Christensen is around 2 months older than Natalie Portman. Zam Wesell, the female bounty hunter that's trying to kill Padme, is a Claudite, and that is a species that can shapeshift. Samuel L. Jackson claims that the words "bad motherfucker" are engraved on the hilt of his lightsaber. The same words are famously printed on the wallet of Jackson's character Jules Winfield in Pulp Fiction. During rehearsals and the filming of Count Dooku's lightsaber battle with Yoda, a small model of Yoda was used as a reference for Christopher Lee. However, they slightly altered the model to have vampire fangs. The fangs were a joke at Christopher Lee's expense because he originally performed Count Dracula in The Horror of Dracula in 1958, and Christopher Lee's response was, "I will not comment on that. I didn't think that you would do this to me, George." Jango Fett, the bounty hunter played by Tamura Morrison, was killed by Mace Windu, played by Samuel L. Jackson. This is then switched in the movie Django Unchained, in which a bounty hunter named Jango kills a character named Steven, played by Samuel L. Jackson. As we can see, even if it's across franchises, a Fett will always get his revenge, in one way or another. After the second assassination attempt on Padme Amidala, involving the poisonous creatures, and the ensuing chase, there is an exterior shot of Padme's apartment building. If you look in the top left corner of the screen, you can actually see a small droid replacing the broken window which Obi-Wan had smashed the night before. Attack of the Clones has the most lightsabers on screen at any given time in any live-action Star Wars movie. Several members of the boy band NSYNC were going to make a cameo appearance in the movie as background Jedi, but this ultimately ended up not happening. The man who tried to sell death sticks to Obi-Wan was named Elan Sel Sabagano, also known as Elan Sleaze Bagano. C-3PO was originally supposed to have his first appearance in skeletal form, much like Phantom Menace. However, in post-production, George Lucas decided that he wanted C-3PO to be complete throughout the movie. Due to the negative reception around his character in the original movie, George Lucas jokingly claimed that the movie would have been called Star Wars: Jar Jar's Great Adventure. And I think that would have been a better title. I would love more Jar Jar. Those disgusting little bug creatures that tried to assassinate Padme in her bed were called Kohun. The entire aggressive negotiations conversation during the dinner scene between Anakin and Padme was ad-libbed by Hayden Christensen and Natalie Portman at George Lucas's request, due to him not being happy with the romantic dialogue that he wrote for the scene. Chancellor Valorum was originally supposed to be in the movie, and he was going to make a cameo, but he was written out when the actor Terence Stamp refused to reprise the role due to disliking his experience working on The Phantom Menace. In the comic adaptation of Attack of the Clones, Dooku uses Anakin's lightsaber to fight against Yoda. Attack of the Clones marks the first time that Yoda is seen using a lightsaber. Previously, they actually intended to have the puppet fight with the lightsaber. However, it had problems actually gripping the hilt, and they couldn't make it look realistic. Despite Count Dooku being the main villain of the movie and is mentioned in the opening crawl, he doesn't actually make his first appearance until an hour and 16 minutes into the film. The fight between Yoda and Count Dooku was envisioned quite differently. Originally, Yoda was supposed to come in and immediately fight Count Dooku, but many of the creative team felt that it was too quick a transition for Yoda, and the audience needed to feel the power of good and evil going up against one another. So George Lucas added in the scenes to the fight with the blue lightning and the rocks, because he wanted to show how powerful Yoda was. To be able to simply redirect lightning without any effort and to throw a giant rock around was all intended to make Yoda look like a badass. In a novel that is now Star Wars Legends called Tatooine Ghost, it is said that Anakin's slaughter of the Tusken Raiders actually passed into their folklore, and the battle is commemorated with a dance to the sound of a lightsaber. Damn, Anakin certainly had some impact on the Sand People. Casting director Robin Gurland is said to have looked at around 1,500 candidates to play the role of Anakin Skywalker. Two of these candidates were iconic actors Paul Walker and Leonardo DiCaprio, with the former even being upset over not being chosen. Imagine being in the best franchise ever made and also playing the role of Anakin Skywalker. How crazy would that be? I'm joking, I hate the Fast and Furious franchise. The iconic creatures that attack Obi-Wan, Anakin and Padme in the arena on Geonosis are known as an Acklay, a Reek, and a Nexu. Christopher Lee was an extremely close friend of the late Peter Cushing, who is the actor who played Grand Moff Tarkin in Star Wars: A New Hope. Christopher Lee was actually writing with Peter Cushing, and he asked him what on earth is a Grand Moff, to which Peter Cushing wrote back and said, "I have no idea." Imagine being in Star Wars and being such fake fans and not knowing what a Grand Moff is. Ridiculous. Of course I'm kidding, Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing are absolute legends. Just like in A New Hope and The Phantom Menace before it, all of Tatooine's scenes were filmed in Tunisia, something the new movies haven't been able to replicate. The iconic movie Blade Runner was actually a large influence on Attack of the Clones and Coruscant, and there are many references and similarities in the designs. One of the most prominent buildings in Blade Runner is the corporate headquarters of the Tyrell Corporation, and the base of the Jedi Temple, which becomes the command center for the clone armies, is roughly the same shape as that building in Blade Runner. Coincidence? I think not. Also, the huge neon advertisements that Blade Runner is infamous for is mirrored in the shots when we get Anakin chasing Zam Wesell, and the entire chase scene from Blade Runner in which Deckard runs down and retires the replicant Zora has the exact same look and feel of Anakin chasing down the bounty hunter Zam Wesell in Attack of the Clones. There is a huge inspiration between the two movies. The iconic Dexter Jettster is the best character in Attack of the Clones. He is the peak male specimen, and you can't tell me and the fans otherwise. Mwah! So there we have it. That is 10 minutes of useless information about Star Wars Attack of the Clones. I really hope you learned something new about the best Star Wars prequel of all time, and if you enjoyed it, don't forget to share this video with your friends, your family, your dog, your nan, anybody who might enjoy it too, and let's try and get this video rolling in that YouTube algorithm. So give that like button a big bonk, and tell YouTube that you had a fabulous time. And know that I will be covering The Phantom Menace next, so if you want to see that video, don't forget to hit the big subscribe button so you are notified as soon as that video is available. Also, while you're here, don't forget to come and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and join the Discord server because I would love to have you there. All links are in the description below. I'll see you guys in the next video. But until then, may the Force be with you. Always.